If you're looking back to maybe your first album in 2001 and this one, in what way are they comparable in terms of songwriting, or maybe not at all? Is there something to say about that? Because for example, what kind of band do you see looking back at that album?
I don't usually look back at the first record. There was some tools that we used that we used on that first album. We didn't really plan it that way, but when we were writing, we had a lot of songs we were almost ready to record them, and Dave Grohl ended up contacting us because he was making a documentary film about Sound City, which was the first studio we recorded in, and in particular his documentary is about this board, this Neve console that he recorded Nevermind on, and Fleetwood Mac and Tom Petty and Neil Young and all these great bands have come through this studio at the time. So he has the board in his home studio, and he asked us questions about our experience, and we made a song with him on that. And then it just one thing led to another, and we found ourselves recording this record on that old board again. So it was strange, it was kind of like never thought I'd see that board again. But as much as I'd like to credit it, it's actually not, it's a link in the chain that's an important piece, but it's not, it's not God's gift to anything. There's just, there's places it allows you to go, and there's dynamics that it brings to life, and it's, I love his film for casting light on that, which I don't think a lot of people know, how important that link of the chain is. But there's many, parts that go into a record, and, even though we were going back to that same board again, we weren't the same people anymore. And we also knew how to kind of work the machine. We didn't know what the hell the thing did, like the first record. We let someone else do that.
Now you have a little bit more understanding of it.
Yeah, you learn things. You try not to learn too much. That's kind of the art of it all.
What kind of memories brought it back when you were in that same room again with that same sound?
Memories? I don't remember that much from the first record.
Why not? How come?
Shit.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, besides the fact that it was a long time ago, I don't know. You get caught up, you go from just sitting around your house doing nothing for most of your life to then all of a sudden you're signed to a record deal and you're in the studio and you're recording, and then you're out on tour, and then you're on a tour, and then you got to make another record, then you're back in the studio again, then you're writing, and then you're producing, and then you're back on tour again. And all these things just happen in this kind of like, there's this rhythm to it, and everything starts to kind of become one thing, and to pick apart the pieces of that, I don't know. It's best just to look forward sometimes, because, it's safer.
Why is that safer?
Because the past has a way of changing. You see things differently than they are, and memories aren't always trusted. So, holding on to this moment, the further you can be present in the moment, the safer you are.